collapsed during the storm. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic are under states of emergency tonight as Tropical Storm Dorian tears through the Caribbean. Forecasters warn heavy rain could cause life-threatening floods. CBS correspondent David Begnaud is in Puerto Rico, where the storm is expected to hit tomorrow.
The people of Puerto Rico are still dealing with post-traumatic stress from Hurricane Maria, which ravaged this island 2 years ago. Tonight, ahead of Dorian, some people are leaving.
I'm so insecure here with the power, the food, the security. So I'm leaving.
Those who are staying and preparing are wondering if the government is prepared too. We went to FEMA to find out.
The island of Puerto Rico is still fragile. Its infrastructure is fragile.
Nick Russo leads the Federal Emergency Management Agency's effort in Puerto Rico.
The biggest problem was the power. When they lost the power, they lost water in some of the areas. And so one of the things that we're very conscious of and we've been preparing for is to support PREPA if we have a power outage. Right now, we don't know.
We wanted to know how much inventory the island now has to rebuild power poles. Before Maria, they had $22 million in inventory. We came to the main plant in San Juan, where they tell us they now have $141 million. Tonight, ahead of the storm, 30,000 homes are still covered with blue tarps, and 1,000 roads remain impassable since Hurricane Maria. Is FEMA better prepared today than 2 years ago?
Absolutely. If you look around just at this warehouse, and now we have 5 where we used to have 1, there's probably 10 times the commodities on the island that were here pre-Maria. So we've spent the last 2 years learning some lessons and making sure that we're much better prepared.
FEMA was actually taking supplies from that central warehouse in San Juan and moving them to satellite centers around the island. Speaking of satellites, one of the main issues after Hurricane Maria was that the communication infrastructure essentially collapsed. There was no way to communicate. So FEMA is giving satellite phones to every one of the mayors on the island. There are 78. But we just found out Tuesday night that the service on those phones has not yet been activated. So FEMA says the company is trying tonight to get that done so that by tomorrow morning, those phones can be placed in the hands of every single mayor on this island. We're less than 24 hours away from landfall. David Begnaud, CBS News, Cagua, Puerto Rico.
Oh, McCall, nothing close to a hurricane, but we have had some pretty wet weather the past couple days.
Yeah, we've had a significant amount of rainfall in some parts of our viewing area, upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches in a few areas. But now we're beginning that drying out process, and you'll see that on Live Doppler 7 radar. As we scan the skies for you, there are a few areas of sprinkles up across the far northwest, but other than that, we're looking at drier air starting to push in. The cold front that brought us the precipitation today is slowly making its way into southeastern Ohio and working towards West Virginia. Now, as we're clearing, and because of the moisture that we had with this rainfall, we're looking at some areas, especially south and east, where some patchy fog has developed. Visibility has fallen below a mile in a few of these spots. That includes portions of Butler County near Oxford, southern portions of Warren County, south of Springboro, as well as out in Clinton County near Wilmington. And until that cold front really makes its way through, and we see that drier air surging back in, we'll be dealing with those areas of patchy fog into the first part of tonight. So keep that in mind if you're in those southern cities, towns, and you're traveling in the overnight hours, that you may run into some of that. As we head into tomorrow morning, though, that drier air is going to be here for everyone. It will feel much more comfortable for the start of the day tomorrow and really for several days ahead. Futurecast shows there may be a passing sprinkle, as I just showed you up on Live Doppler 7 radar, that may try to skim on through, but I suspect most of us are just going to be dealing with that mainly clear to a partly cloudy sky for tonight. Tomorrow morning, perhaps some leftover patchy fog, but really at that point in time, I suspect we'll be looking at lots of sunshine to start the day. Your outdoor outlook for the next 3 days is looking nice. We are dry for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Temperatures are going to be slightly cooler than average, though, and I'll show you that in a few moments. As far as what it will feel like for the next 5 days, that cooler and comfortable air comes in tonight. We'll keep the low humidity around through the upcoming weekend. At times, it may feel like it's coming up slightly, specifically for Friday and perhaps on Saturday, but then we get a chance for some pop-up storms, and that should start to cool us back off again. Looking at tonight's temperatures, we get to about 59 degrees in the city of Dayton. Outlying areas around those middle 50s, perhaps up towards Salina at 56 tomorrow morning, and Wapakoneta starting the day at 57 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be below average. for your high. Typically, we should see highs at around 82 degrees, and we're expected to get to about 76 for us in the city of Dayton, and most spots around those mid to upper 70s. After sunset tomorrow, we start to cool back off. We'll see temperatures falling into the 60s once that sun goes down. Your temperature trend through the next 3 days, I just showed you, we'll get to 76 degrees tomorrow. We're still below average on Thursday. Friday, we start to bring in more of that heat, and again, that slight nudge in the humidity, but that's not going to be as significant or as comparable to what we saw the last few days. Futurecast shows for Saturday will start out dry. We may have a chance for a few late day pop-up storms across the north there, 6 p.m. We'll see a better chance for a few showers or perhaps a thunderstorm as we head into Sunday. Otherwise, we'll call it partly sunny throughout the day, and temperatures once again are going to get back up close to 80 degrees. So here's that 5-day forecast for you. We're in the 50s for the next couple of mornings, so that's sweatshirt or light jacket weather for you in the morning hours, and we're in the mid to upper 70s for the afternoon. Still dry on Friday. A chance for a few pop-up thunderstorms for Saturday. Late day, most of the day will be dry. A few more storms potentially on Sunday. Labor Day, if you have any plans and you have the day off, looks like a nice one. Low humidity, highs up around 81 degrees. Tune in tomorrow morning at 4:25. Meteorologist Dante Jones will have the latest on that chance for rain into the weekend.
Thanks, McCall. Governor Mike DeWine plans on giving an update about efforts to strengthen background checks on gun